Okay, let's be real. Some gaming characters just stick. They're the ones you can't stop thinking about long after you've turned off the console. Whether they're slaying gods, surviving apocalypses, or cracking jokes in the middle of chaos, these 10 characters are what legends are made of. So, what makes them so unforgettable? Let's break it down and see why these characters are truly the best of the best. When you think of Kratos, the first thing that probably comes to mind is a furious godslayer, right? But what makes Kratos legendary is his evolution. He started as a mindless machine of rage in the Greek pantheon, taking down gods with the sheer power of his fury. But when God of War 2018 dropped, we got to see a completely different side of him. Suddenly, Kratos wasn't just a monster hunting for vengeance. He was a father, trying to protect his son and reconcile with the ghosts of his past. His journey from rage to redemption was powerful. It wasn't just about slaying gods, it was about slaying his inner demons. And let's not forget the gameplay. The way that Leviathan axe feels when you throw it, pure satisfaction. From gods to spies, this next guy redefines stealth and strategy in a way that no one saw coming. Solid Snake, the guy who basically created the stealth genre. Sure, we had sneaking missions before Metal Gear Solid, but Snake made it cool. He didn't just sneak past guards, he outsmarted them, using brains over brawn. Snake was everything we didn't know we needed in a character. He was gruff, a bit of a loner, and oh, those iconic smoke-filled conversations. Nothing ever felt quite as real. What makes him legendary isn't just the gameplay, though. It's his complex, tortured character. He's a hero, but he's also a weapon of war, constantly at odds with his identity. His story is one of morality, of trying to break free from the chains of war and control. Every time Snake walked into a room, you knew something intense was coming, and his iconic lines, unforgettable. Now, let's head west for a second, because our next legend was riding into the sunset, but his journey would go down in history. John Marston is the quintessential outlaw, but what makes him legendary is that he's so much more than that. He's not just a cowboy chasing after the bad guys, he's a man trying to make sense of a world that's changing too fast. In Red Dead Redemption, we see John as a family man, a guy who's been through it all and just wants to be left alone. But he's also haunted by the ghosts of his past. His story is one of redemption, of trying to do the right thing, even when the world's against him. The way Rockstar crafted his arc, starting from a hardened outlaw and ending as a tragic hero, is what makes him one of the most human characters in gaming. Speaking of doing the right thing, sometimes the hardest part is deciding what the right thing actually is, especially when it means abandoning everything you once believed in. And that brings us to Jin Sakai. Jin Sakai wasn't just a samurai, he was a force of nature. Ghost of Tsushima took us to 13th century Japan, and Jin's journey was a blend of honor, duty, and a deep internal struggle. At the start, Jin was the perfect samurai. Disciplined, loyal, a guardian of his people. But as the Mongol invaders ravage his homeland, he's forced to make a choice. Does he stick to his code, or does he break it to save what's left of his world? And that's what makes him legendary. It's not just the swordplay, though that's satisfying, it's how Jin's character grows. He becomes something more, a ghost, a shadow in the night, using whatever it takes to defeat his enemies. He showed us that sometimes doing what's right means sacrificing your own beliefs. Now, let's switch gears and dive into the mind of a villain who stole the show with just one question.
What the definition of insanity is. Insanity is doing the exact same fucking thing over and over again, expecting shit to change.
Vaas Montenegro is one of those characters that sticks with you. When Far Cry 3 came out, we thought we were just getting another run-of-the-mill shooter. Instead, we got one of the most complex and insane villains in video game history. What makes Vaas legendary isn't just his crazy antics or his ability to terrify with a simple stare. It's his unpredictability. Every time Vaas shows up, you have no idea what to expect. Is he gonna crack a joke, kill someone, or drop some mind-bending philosophy? But what makes him unforgettable is how he made us question the line between insanity and brilliance. He's the perfect villain because he's not just evil. He's chaotic in a way that feels real. You never knew if you should laugh or be terrified, and that's what made him stick out. Sometimes, the best way to face chaos is to chase after something you can't live without. That's where Nathan Drake comes in. Nathan Drake, what a guy. This treasure-hunting, wisecracking adventurer is the heart and soul of Uncharted. Nate's journey wasn't just about finding ancient artifacts, it was about making us feel like we were part of the adventure. What makes Nate legendary is that he's not some superhero, he's just a regular guy trying to survive in ridiculous situations. He's funny, charming, and somehow always just a step ahead of danger. But he's also vulnerable. He's made mistakes, lost people, and paid for it. It's that combination of humor, vulnerability, and sheer determination that made Nathan Drake an advethi. But treasure hunting isn't the only path to greatness. There's also a more assassin-like approach, which leads us to our next legend. Ezio Auditore is the Assassin's Creed character who truly defined the franchise. From his humble beginnings in Renaissance Italy to becoming a legendary figure in the fight against the Templars, Ezio's journey is one of the most memorable in gaming history. What makes him legendary isn't just his combat skills or his ability to navigate the complex politics of Italy, it's his growth. Starting as a naive young man seeking revenge for the death of his family, Ezio transforms into a master assassin and wise leader. We watched him evolve, and it felt personal. Ezio didn't just fight for vengeance, he fought for justice, freedom, and the protection of future generations. His legacy is one of sacrifice, leadership, and an unwavering sense of honor. Ezio's story was one of growth and reflection, much like the journey of another complex figure, a man torn between the past and his future. Joel, this man is as complex as they come. In The Last of Us, we're introduced to a man hardened by loss, a survivor in a world where human connection is fragile. What makes Joel legendary isn't just the brutal combat or his stoic demeanor, it's his relationship with Ellie. Joel is not a traditional hero, he's morally gray, making difficult choices that blur the line between right and wrong. His connection with Ellie transcends that of a protector. He's a father figure, and that bond is the emotional core of the game. In the end, Joel's actions are both heroic and controversial, but they resonate deeply because they show the lengths to which a parent will go for their child. He's not perfect, but that's what makes him so human. Now, from one complex character to another, let's talk about a demon hunter who's as cool as he is powerful. Dante. This guy is the epitome of cool. From his smirking attitude to his over-the-top demon-slaying style, Dante is the definition of a character who can do it all. What makes him legendary is not just his insane combat skills or his demon heritage, it's how he owns his role as a half-demon, half-human badass. Dante isn't just saving the world, he's doing it with flair, style, and a whole lot of swagger. His witty one-liners, his iconic sword and gun combos, and his journey from cocky anti-hero to a man who realizes the importance of family and sacrifice make him one of gaming's most fun and compelling characters. You don't just want to play as Dante, you want to be him. Finally, we reach a character whose journey is defined by deep internal struggle and the search for redemption. Arthur Morgan is arguably one of the most well-written, well-rounded characters in modern gaming. In Red Dead Redemption 2, we watch Arthur's journey unfold from a loyal member of the Van der Linde gang to a man who begins questioning his choices, his morality, and his future. What makes Arthur legendary is the depth of his character. He's a man who's lived a rough life, made countless mistakes, and yet, as the story progresses, he finds moments of clarity and redemption. Arthur isn't just a cowboy, he's a man searching for something better in a world that's falling apart. His relationship with the other members of the gang, especially with John Marston, adds layers to his character that make his eventual fate all the more heartbreaking. Arthur Morgan's story is one of the best examples of character development in gaming. Alright, that's it for our list of 10 perfect gaming characters. These guys didn't just change their worlds, they changed the game entirely. Now, I want to hear from you. Who's your all-time favorite? Drop your thoughts below, and if you enjoyed the ride, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe for more gaming content. Until next time, keep playing and stay legendary.